From the Ming Dynasty to the year 2000, Ding Xiu could only change his way of life. Director. I heard you are very good at playing. I have a play that I want to find you, and the difficulty is very high. Ding Xiu. Just add the money. Director. Actually, I'm just looking for insurance from you, not necessarily useful. Ding Xiu. I don't care about this. If you find me, I will give you money. It's not even possible to lose a penny. Keywords of the novel. This movie Emperor wants to add money without a pop-up window. This movie Emperor wants to add money, download the complete TV series, and this movie Emperor wants to add money to read the latest chapters. Chapter 1. Dreaming Back to Beiping. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 1. Dreaming back to Beiping. In the dark and damp basement, in the corner of the large shop, Ding Xiu opened his eyes. One day and one night, he finally digested the memory of this body for 20 years. More than 300 years ago, his name was Ding Xiu, and he learned from Ding Beiying, a descendant of the Qi family's sword. After the death of his junior brother Jin Yichuan, he and Shen Lian intercepted Zhao Jingzhong at the border of the Ming Dynasty. After a life-and-death battle, he defeated a team of elite Tartar cavalry and came to this world. This is Beijing in 2000, and now he is also known as Ding Xiu, a popular actor. 2 days ago, he caught a cold while filming a scene of going into the water. He was bedridden and came in a daze until the two memories merged into one, making it difficult to tell whether it was Zhuangzhou dreaming of a butterfly or a butterfly dreaming of Zhuangzhou. Based on his memory, Ding Xiu reached over his head and found a hemp thread. He pulled it down and with a click, the dim yellow light bulb illuminated the 10-square-meter basement. He has a clear view of his living environment. A large bunk made of a few plywood boards and a few benches, with a total of 3 seats for myself, because there are also 2 beds next to it. This is for the other 2 roommates. The rent at the foot of the imperial city is expensive, and this dilapidated basement costs 120 yuan per month. It is difficult to pay for it alone as a laborer. A group performance job costs 20 yuan a day, and when it's unlucky, I haven't been able to work for half a month. I can't even afford to eat during the off-season, not to mention paying rent. Fortunately, if 3 people share the cost equally, each person will receive 40 yuan, which is not high. Lying in bed day and night, unable to hold back his body, Ding Xiu wanted to use the restroom. The nearest toilet is 100 meters above the ground, and it takes 10 minutes to come back and forth. In case of unexpected situations, if you run slower, you have to take a walk around before reaching the destination. Wearing clothes, I opened the door and saw an upward staircase that was 3 or 4 meters long. As I walked, it became shorter and lower, with the top level with the ground. On rainy days, rainwater would pour in, causing flooding of the 3 armies. This has happened many times. Arriving at the ground, the afternoon sunlight pricked Ding Xiu and he had to cover his forehead with his hands. Even though I have seen the scene before me countless times in my memory, seeing it with my own eyes still feels very shocking. On the cement street, sanitation workers are cleaning, with cars coming and going. On the roadside, adults lead children, and children carry backpacks. There are people selling watermelons, buying buns, and buying fruits, all shouting incessantly. In the voices of these people, he heard anticipation for the future, and in their eyes, he saw light. This is a vibrant and prosperous era. Not far away, a young man walked towards him. Short stature, flat-headed, with big white teeth exposed when laughing, very simple and honest. This is his roommate, named Wang Baoqiang. When you wake up, I brought you a mantu. After receiving Wang Baoqiang's mantu, Xiu Ding thanked him and ate it without giving up. In my memory, I have known him for a month. He eats mantu every day and drinks tap water when thirsty. Old and ill-fitting clothes are brought from home. They are sewn and mended when they are broken. After eating mantu, Ding Xiu went to the public toilet. Looking at Ding Xiu's back, Wang Baoqiang felt that he was a bit strange today, and he couldn't pinpoint where the strangeness was. After all, we haven't known each other for long, and we don't spend much time working together. If Ding Xiu had not feared that the rent would rise after he fell, he would not have brought Mantu. Ding Xiu returned from the toilet, and Wang Baoqiang turned the bed upside down, almost lifting the bedboard. "What are you doing?" "My money is missing." Wang Baoqiang was very anxious. "My family just sent 400 yuan yesterday." Ding Xiu frowned and said, "Will it be thrown out?" Workers like them rarely let their money go, let alone dormitories with too many people and distractions. For safety reasons, some people are sewing pockets in their underwear. Carrying a pair of release shoes, Wang Baoqiang exclaimed excitedly, "Today's play is going to the water, and I can't bring any money with me. I put them in my shoes when I left in the morning, why did they disappear?" What came to mind was that his gaze at Ding Xiu was already incorrect. No one would idle around flipping through a pair of tattered shoes, or one shoe after another under the bed. There are 3 people in the dormitory, and 2 of them are working today. Only Ding Xiu stays inside all day. Who else is there besides him? Young people can't hide things on their faces, and seeing his expression, Ding Xiu knows what he's thinking. So what if I took it? Unexpectedly, the society is so gloomy that Wang Baoqiang's world outlook is about to collapse. Thanks to him, he left Ding Xiu Mantu. "Give me back the money." Ding Xiu shrugged and slightly raised the corner of his mouth, returning to his taste. "After spending, I went to Dream Paris. Not to mention, the girl is quite smooth." Wang Baoqiang gritted his teeth, his eyes turning red. The 400 yuan was scraped together by his family, which was his living expenses for the next 6 months. He couldn't bear to use it on his own. "This bastard is so good, he used all of it. I haven't even been to Dream Paris yet." Grasping Ding Xiu's collar, Wang Baoqiang raised his hand and was about to punch him. Faced with this punch, Ding Xiu calmly tilted his head to avoid it, and his right hand lightly twisted around Wang Baoqiang's wrist, which was grasping his collar. At the same time, he kicked out with a low sweep leg. In the blink of an eye, Wang Baoqiang landed on one knee and his left hand was locked behind him, unable to move. He never expected that his frail roommate would be a trainee. Men don't want to hide or reveal themselves. To prevent letting go and getting bitten, Ding Xiu pushed Wang Baoqiang forward, took 2 steps back, and said, "I heard you practiced in Shaolin for 6 years, but I didn't expect you to be at this level. It's boring." In his era, there was a saying in the martial arts world that Shaolin was the best martial arts. Wang Baoqiang was the first person he had ever seen to practice martial arts, and he came from Shaolin. When he felt itchy, he had the idea of sparring, but the result was just a show. Wang Baoqiang. Am I special? Back then, Linyanjia's Shaolin Temple became popular throughout the country, sparking a trend of martial arts practice. Many people went to Shaolin to learn martial arts, and he was also one of them. However, what is learned inside are all martial arts routines, mostly for physical fitness and performance purposes. Although not practical, years of exercise have made his body stronger than an average person, making it easy to beat a peer. I didn't expect to be knocked down by Ding Xiu with just one move. Taking off his coat and hanging it on a nail on the wall, Ding Xiu prepared to take a nap and yawned before going to bed. "I didn't take your money." Zhou Xueshan came back at noon. Zhou Xueshan is another roommate. Unlike the 2 of them, he graduated from his 3rd year of high school and, according to me, came to experience life during the summer vacation. He had to report when college started. Becoming a popular actor in Baipiao is a hobby, and if lucky, being recognized by the director as a big star is a household name, just like Lin Yanjie. In front of the 2, he has a strong sense of superiority, and the only book in the dormitory is his own self-cultivation as an actor. "Did you see it?" Wang Baoqiang asked. "Ding Xiu is a master and should not disdain lying. Zhou Xueshan is a college student and should not steal his money. For a moment, he didn't even know whether to believe Ding Xiu's words. The empty basement answered him only with a snoring sound. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Betting. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 Betting. I don't know how long I slept, but Ding Xiu woke up. The money was borrowed by my father from door to door in the whole village. Whoever took it, I'll fight against them. I didn't take it. I find your money dirty. I really think of myself as a college student. I was slapped by a supporting role on the set the other day, but I didn't dare to fart. I was scolded by the deputy director for making a mistake in my position. An actor's self-cultivation by putting a book on the bed is just like an actor. I pooh, you've seen it twice, can you understand it? No matter how poor I am still a college student. If I can't be an actor, I can at least attend college. You don't even have a primary school graduation certificate. What can you do? You dream all day and don't pee to see if you are that kind of person. You are short, ugly, and have a sour smell all over your body. To put it better, you are pursuing your dreams, but to put it harder, you are just fooling around. Didn't you say you didn't take it? What's going on with the money? How do you prove that the money belongs to you? Is there your name on it? I'm Nima. I'm 50 less, why did you use it for me? Take it out. I can't take it out, I bought shoes, and even if I die, I don't have any. Then take it off for me. Standing up against the wall, Ding Xiu witnessed two rookies cursing and shoving each other. In the end, impatient Zhou Xueshan found Wang Baoqiang's dry leg and kicked him. Wang Baoqiang not only retaliated with his feet, but also punched him in the face with a combination of punches. In this rookie pecking match, Wang Baoqiang won. He tore open Zhou Xueshan's pant pocket, revealing his red shorts, flipped out 350 yuan, and forcibly took off Zhou Xueshan's casual shoes. Being caught stealing money, Zhou Xueshan had no face and simply packed up a few clothes before leaving. The actor didn't even take his own self-cultivation, and before leaving, he didn't forget to curse the two of them for their lifelong group performances. With scratches on his face, Wang Baoqiang said to Ding Xiudao, "Big brother, I misunderstood you before. I'm sorry." Ding Xiu growled with hunger and covered his stomach, saying, "If you're interested, please treat me to a meal." Okay. Wang Baoqiang nodded. In the afternoon, Ding Xiu went to the bathroom and flipped over the other person's bed. In the end, he almost hit someone, and it was indeed his fault. It is appropriate to offer a meal as an apology. Another Zhou Xueshan has left, and the rent will fall on 2 people in the future. Originally, one person was 40, but now it's 60. If Ding Xiu also leaves, he will share all 12. Boss pays the bill. 82. In front of the barbecue stall, Wang Baoqiang tearfully settled the bill, found a linen pocket, picked up dozens of beer bottles that Ding Xiu had drunk, and planned to drag them back to sell. Zhou Xueshan only spent his 50 yuan, and Ding Xiu was even more ruthless on Dog Day, eating 82 yuan per meal. Steadily glancing at the casual shoes on Ding Xiu's feet, Wang Baoqiang felt even more heartbroken. The shoes were bought by Zhou Xueshan with his money, and he couldn't wear them in size 43. Ding Xiu, as agreed, here are these shoes for you. You will have to pay an extra 20 yuan in rent next month. Ding Xiu leaned back against the chair, biting his toothpick and caressing his stomach. This was his first meal since coming to this world, very fulfilling. It's just that beer is not very good, mixed in like water, and no matter how you drink it, it won't get drunk. If it's left on the street by a store manager like Daming, it's already dead. I know, you said it 5 times. Seeing his heartless appearance, Wang Baoqiang was anxious. He knew that Ding Xiu had no money on him and was even poorer than him. Not to mention next month's rent, he had nothing to eat tomorrow. In order not to be borrowed money, he could only whip Ding Xiu up. Let's go back when we're full. I heard that a new production team is starting up and needs to recruit a large number of people. If we go early tomorrow, we'll definitely be able to stay alive. The toothpick flew out, and Ding Xiu stood up and said, "Okay, then go back and call me tomorrow morning. Let him find a factory. He really can't do it from 8.00 to 8.00 every day, let alone work as a waiter in a restaurant. If the master and fellow disciples know he's here to serve dishes and wash dishes, they might not want to laugh and come to life. The group performance is great, with a daily salary settlement. I take 3 days off from work and work whenever I feel like it. If I don't want to work, I sleep soundly. I don't care about drinking alcohol. Being carefree, free, and unconstrained, isn't this the ideal life he once had?" At 3:30 in the morning, Ding Xiu was awakened by the alarm clock and the light came on. After a rustling sound, Wang Baoqiang put on his clothes and called out to him a few times. After receiving a response, he took out a basin of water from under the bed and washed it on the street. It was collected from the public restroom before going to bed last night. The place they will be going to later is at the entrance of the Beijing Film Studio, which is 7 kilometers away. There is no bus at this point, so they can only get up early. The start time of the production team is usually 8 o'clock, and the group performance needs to arrive 2 hours in advance. After putting on makeup and practicing, the walking time will be around. So before 6 o'clock, the actors from the crowd must be carefully selected. In order to be selected by the production team, they have to wait at the entrance of the Beijing Film Studio early. The earlier they go, the greater the chance of being selected. After wiping his eye droppings, Ding Xiu also got up and sighed, "This is even more tiring than killing someone." A towel was hanging on his shoulder, holding a basin, taking toothpaste and toothbrush, and Ding Xiu came to the ground. After washing up, he saw a lot of water. He went back to the basement and took out half a pack of shampoo to wash his head, which made Wang Baoqiang feel heartbroken. That's his shampoo. He usually uses it 4 times a pack, and the killer Ding Xiu squeezes half a pack at a time. At 3:45, the two of them walked along the street towards Beiying Factory. Even in a big city like Beiping, there were not many people on the street at this point, and it was very quiet. As he walked, Ding Xiu started running and Wang Baoqiang followed behind him. "Let's compare and see who gets to the Beijing Film Studio first." "I will definitely arrive first," Wang Baoqiang said with a big white tooth and a smile. To be honest, he may not necessarily be a 1.1 opponent, but he has never been afraid of anyone compared to endurance. He grew up in the countryside and went to the countryside at the age of 6. Later, he stayed at Shaolin Temple for 6 years, including morning runs in his daily homework. 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, Ding Xiu was panting heavily, his forehead was covered in fine sweat, and the shadow of Wang Baoqiang was long gone ahead. Stop running and switch to brisk walking. With each breath, his breath slowly calms down. My body is still too weak, it seems that I need to exercise more in the future. He awakened his memory, not his attire, otherwise he would have picked out a team of Tartar cavalry on his own, running 10 kilometers without breathing. The only benefit this body may bring to him is that he looks quite good looking, with thick eyebrows and big eyes, strong facial features, and a tall figure. He is tall in all aspects. Another thing is being young, only 20 years old, and having great years to spend in the future. After resting for a while, Ding Xiu continued to run and his speed slowed down a lot. Arrive at the Beijing Film Studio at 4:30. There are already around 50 or 60 people gathered here, of all ages and genders, with the majority being young people. Under the streetlight, some people were squatting by the roadside smoking, while others were sleeping on the lawn wrapped in blankets. Wang Baoqiang stood foolishly on a thick ginkgo branch, excitedly waving at him. Here. You lost, right? I lost, you're impressive. Hee hee. Wang Baoqiang laughed even happier. Sometimes the betting between men is just so boring, and it's already a high honor to say you're amazing. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Group Performance Life. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3 Group Performance Life. Sitting under the tree, Ding Xiu waited quietly for the arrival of the crew. The plan for a day is in the morning. It's not that he doesn't want to do a boxing trick or stand up to exercise, it's just that his wallet doesn't allow it. After a set of punches, you will definitely be starving and need to eat to supplement your nutrition. Where did you get the money? Whether lunch is available today or not depends on whether the production team accepts him. To be honest, he regretted running just now. How much energy did it waste? The group performers were bored waiting, and 3 or 5 acquaintances gathered together to brag and chat. If there was a woman in the small circle, the constant stream of dirty language and yellow jokes would never stop. The people around did not join in because they were not familiar, they just cast envious glances and laughed along when they heard stimulating topics. Under the streetlights, some people also showed a disdainful expression, only occasionally turning their heads to look at the entrance of the North Film Studio behind them, as if they were looking at the Holy Land. Beijing Film Studio is a production studio and a national enterprise. After the reform and opening up, there were not many films produced, and to this day, it may not necessarily recruit group performances every 2 months. The reason why everyone gathers in this scene is a habit and a default rule in the circle. There are many film crews in the city of Beiping, and when recruiting for group performances, one should not randomly search on the streets. There must be a place, which is the entrance of the Beijing Film Studio. This has been a habit for over a decade. As time passed, more and more people gathered at the entrance of the Beijing Film Studio. By 5 o'clock, it was already very lively, like a small vegetable market. It only quieted down when passing by vehicles on the roadside, and once the vehicles passed by, it resumed its liveliness. The sky was dimly lit, and a van was parked on the roadside. A short, black, chubby middle-aged man with a peach heart hairstyle and an iron chain hanging around his neck got off the bus. The man held a loudspeaker in one hand, his notebook tucked under his armpit, and calmly shouted, "Group performance, 21 days, 15 people coming." At the moment he got off the car, the group performers swarmed around like smelling hyenas. Me. Director, I can break dance. The director chose me, I have acted in 6 plays. Director, despite my age, I have 8 years of acting experience. Director, I am a layman disciple of Shaolin Temple, capable of fighting and resisting. Director, I am also a layman disciple of Shaolin Temple with 20 years of martial arts skills. Ding Xiu reported his family background and identified himself as a Shaolin lay disciple, a martial arts master with 20 years of martial arts skills. Wang Bao rolled his eyes when he heard this. As far as he knows, Ding Xiu is only 20 years old. Did he start practicing from the mother's womb? You, get in the car. The old man is too old, let's move back first. You also go up. Like counting ducks, the director points out who gets on the car, and Ding Xiu has a good appearance and is also one of the people getting on the car. Wang Baoqiang was stopped outside, trying to fish in troubled waters and get on the car, but was stopped by the director. Child, have you reached adulthood? Director, I'm 18 years old. Although I'm young, I'm a disciple of a Shaolin layman. I'm very skilled at fighting and can do any dirty or tiring work. Don't talk about these useless things. If you're capable, just get in the car. Thank you, director, I'll do it. That old man, will you do it on the 15th day? The last few people, the director is not afraid of meat and vegetables, but the price is much lower, with a 5 yuan rebate for each meal. The van wobbled for over an hour and arrived in the suburbs, where each person got off and registered a name. This is a small crew, filming modern dramas without changing clothes. Everyone just walks around according to the director's requirements. Ding Xiu and Wang Baoqiang teamed up, and the props they were given were a long hair headband and a book. Their job was to face the male and female protagonists with their backs to each other, pretending to be a couple sitting in a nearby chair chatting without showing their faces, serving as a background board. Sitting and earning money, these days are comfortable. Ding Xiu held a book in his hand, looked up at the sky, and the corners of his mouth curled up. Wang Baoqiang, wearing a wig, whispered, "Today's play was indeed much easier." "Still feeling upset about 5 yuan?" Ding Xiu asked. Wang Baoqiang is short and has a delicate face. At the age of 18, he looks similar to a 16-year-old junior high school graduate. No wonder the director only gave him 15. Wang Baoqiang was depressed and said, "You said everyone does the same job, why should I lose 5 yuan? You can skip it. I need money." "Then don't force me to be lazy," Ding Xiu said calmly. "Society is inherently unfair, and it has been like this for thousands of years. If you feel like you have less money, you can choose not to do it or put a knife around that guy's neck. Don't worry about raising the price, you can make him kneel down and call him your father." After being scolded, Wang Baoqiang couldn't speak. He didn't have the courage to put a knife around a person's neck and could only accept this unequal exploitation. In front of the two of them, a figure paused and turned his head, saying, "Brother, I haven't offended you too even after thinking about it. How could we discuss cutting me off? You even asked me to call you Dad." Ding Xiu looked at him with a duckbill cap, big sunglasses, a floral shirt, and a briefcase, like a bad developer. "Who are you?" The middle-aged man hesitated for a moment and said, "I just led you two onto the car at the entrance of the Beijing film studio, don't you remember?" Wang Baoqiang chuckled and said, "So it's the director. Why did you come to act?" "I'm not a director, I'm a group leader. There are executive directors, casting directors, martial arts directors, and various assistant directors in a crew. As the name suggests, casting directors choose their roles, and group performances, which are humanoid props, are not roles. The director doesn't have the time to personally choose, usually leaving it to the local group leader to handle. Qin Gang is such a person. In addition to helping the production team earn hard work fees and group performance rebates, he also makes cameo appearances in light scenes to earn a little money." "Brother, we're joking." Wang Baoqiang apologized. "If you really offend the director, it's okay not to shoot this drama. There are plenty of production crews in the city of Beiping. The good days of offending the group leaders are coming to an end. These people have wild paths, abundant resources, and are not suitable for beating others. However, if they are excluded and not given any place." Skipping Wang Baoqiang, Qin Gang looked at Ding Xiu and said, "Sun Tzu, do you know what disaster comes from the mouth? Let me kneel down and call Dad, right? If you call me Dad today, I'll let you go. Otherwise, you won't be filming this scene either." "Okay," Ding Xiu nodded. "No, it's okay. Let's settle the money." Qin Gang laughed angrily and said, "What are you thinking? Just sitting down for 5 minutes and asking for money, I'll numb you." Ding Xiu stood up with a stern face and gloomy eyes, walking step by step towards Qin Gang. He poked his fingers at his chest and said coldly, word by word, "Since you found me, you'll have to give me the money. Whether it's useful or not, I'll chop you up if it's 1 penny less. Also, keep your mouth clean, and if you have another dirty word, I'll cut your tongue first." After wandering in the martial arts world for so many years, Ding Xiu has not only 100 but also 80 lives in his hands. In modern society, no matter how poor or vicious people are, they are all younger brothers in front of him. Qin Gang was shrouded in his murderous intent, as if someone had to use a sharp knife to pierce his throat. He felt his heart skip a beat and he was too grand to breathe. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Peaceful Affairs. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 Peaceful Affairs. The actors over there, after drawing, how did they teach? Do you still want to do it? The deputy director shouted at this side with a loudspeaker. Qin Gang took a step down the donkey, snorted and left, and Ding Xiu also sat back. Wang Baoqian whispered, "Brother, are we still playing?" Ding Xiu looked like a fool and said, "Why don't you act? Who's in charge of leaving now?" "Oh," Wang Baoqian nodded and worshipped, "you were really amazing just now." Ding Xiu remained silent. If you scare someone with just a few words, it's called Niu Pai. If it spreads out, I'm afraid he might be laughed off. He might even think he's losing his share. The times have changed, and in a rule of law society, even he dare not confront the state machinery. He should not even think about killing people. Of course, he is not purely intimidating. If the group leader dares to deduct money, he doesn't mind putting on a burlap bag on a dark and stormy night and letting the other party lie in the hospital for a few months. 6 scenes were filmed in the morning, and Ding Xiu followed the crew around 3 places. When he was starving, he finally waited until noon to have lunch. The salary for group performances is not high, the job is not fixed, and the monthly income is not much. The reason why many people do this is because they come for boxed meals. Waiting in line to receive the boxed lunch, Ding Xiu found a shady tree and sat down on the ground, regardless of whether it was dirty or not, eating in large gulps. Wang Baoqian ran to his side and squatted down, laughing like a landlord's fool while eating boxed meals. Everyone was tired all morning, and it was hot. After walking around for hours, I almost fainted from heatstroke. It's a happy thing to have a boxed lunch at this time. Thanks to the blessing of the lead actor going back to the hotel for a nap, the production team will not start work temporarily, and everyone will also take a nap. At 2:30 p.m., the machine started. Clear the scene and have unrelated personnel withdraw. The group performance is ready, and each department is in their respective positions. A. Bing's High School Life 75th Scene, Second Mirror, Action. This time, Ding Xiu still played the background board, with all the group performances lined up and walked through the screen one by one under the command of the deputy director. After the painting was completed, he quickly ran back and stood behind the line, creating many illusions. After filming one after another, taking close-up shots of the front, the lines were NG, and the performance was NG. After more than an hour, Ding Xiu's legs were numb. The lead actor has a bad memory and makes mistakes in his lines one after another. He can even memorize his group performances, so he wants to rush forward and kick the lead actor away. He just wants to tell the director to let me do it, as long as he has a mouth. Who is that? We're filming, please stand a little further away. Suddenly, a crowd of onlookers entered the painting, and the director, who was already full of anger, spoke in a very bad tone. On the side, the car door of the Golden Cup, which had been parked for a long time, opened and a dozen or so blue leather hooligans with carved dragons and painted phoenixes came down. They also moved a folding table and placed it in the middle of the set. There are big watermelons and 2 watermelon knives on the table. With one slash, watermelon juice sprinkled all over the table. Leading with slanted bangs covering the eyes, wearing sunglasses, wearing sleeveless camisoles, holding a melon in one hand and a watermelon knife in the other, he walked arrogantly towards the crowd, much like the crow in the ancient Chinese movie. Lying down, filming is amazing. This is a public area, not your home. I can sit wherever I want. Do you have any objections? It was agreed beforehand that my watermelon knife is used to cut watermelons. If you want to report it to the police, feel free to do so. When filming, it's common for gangsters to extort money, and they usually just give them some money to get rid of it. Everyone is used to it. The director remained calm and calmly took out 500 bills from his wallet, stuffed them into a cigarette box, and handed them over. Brother, we are a small crew, and today we're almost finished. Please be convenient, let's smoke this cigarette for our brothers. After accepting the cigarette and looking at the amount, Crow Brother was not very satisfied and said, "My brother is a big smoker, 1 pack per person. I don't have that much money, why don't you kill me? The director played with a rolling knife and was no worse than these hooligans. 13 people, 1 person costs 500, a total of 6,500, which exceeds his bottom line. Of course, he is not afraid of death either. He firmly believes that these people dare not take action, and collecting some protection fees is enough. If he dares to strike, he will be severely beaten in this area tomorrow, and no one can escape. Damn it, why am I chopping you? My brothers like to watch movies. We can watch wherever you shoot, unless you go to a film and television base. Oh, by the way, your film and television base has finished filming. Rogues are not scary, they are most afraid of having culture. This group of people really grabbed the director by 7 inches. All the other scenes have been filmed, except for these few outdoor scenes. The lead time is limited and cannot be delayed, so the loss will not be a few thousand yuan. Reporting to the police doesn't work. They're right, it's just that watching a movie doesn't break the law. If no one wants to pass through this place completely, we can only report to the higher authorities, but approval takes time and intermediate steps need to be managed, which is too troublesome and not worth it for a few scenes. The director turned around and glanced at the dozens of people behind him. There was another way, which was to let the group play. There were many of them, and this group couldn't help but fight. Perhaps intimidation could solve the problem. Upon receiving a hint from the director, the group leader Qin Gang whispered to the crowd, "You guys will follow behind me later, and each person will raise 30 yuan. After speaking, Qin Gang took a few steps forward and felt something was wrong. As soon as he turned around, not a single one followed. A group of people suddenly felt embarrassed, neither advancing nor retreating. Everyone sneered, "They have knives. They are migrant workers who leave home. They sell their lives for 20 yuan a day. Adding 30 yuan is only 50, and being chopped is not enough for medical expenses." During the group performance, Ding Xiu walked out and came to Qin Gang's side, saying, "I can handle this matter. Good brother, from now on you will be brother Qin Gang. You don't deserve to be my brother yet. If you give me money, I'll take care of them." Qin Gang's face was a bit uneasy, and he smiled awkwardly, 500 yuan. "I want 1,000. 800. Deal, bring the money." Of course, this money couldn't have been given by Qin Gang. He pulled the director aside and whispered a few words in his ear. The director looked at Ding Xiu and then took out the money. With the money in hand, Qin Gang handed it to Ding Xiu and said, "Wang Dao gave you 1,000, brother. After the matter is completed, I will treat you to a drink." He thought that Ding Xiu knew this group of people, perhaps from fellow villagers or friends, and that asking for money was just acting as an intermediary. It would definitely be much easier for acquaintances to come forward and intercede. Counting it once, it was confirmed that it was right. Ding Xiu put on a smiling face and said, "It's easy to say." On the set, dozens of pairs of eyes were all focused on Ding Xiu, and the voices of conversation were not audible, but the movements were clear. Crow thought they were sending a representative to discuss and give money, so he didn't disturb them. It's really excessive to ask for more than 6,000 yuan. They didn't want so much. As for business, they definitely need to shout a little higher in the first place. Just cut the price for 2 rounds and it's about the same. If it's good, let's stop. In front of everyone's eyes, Ding Xiu took the money and put it in his pocket before walking to Crow Brother. "Don't hit the smiling person with your hand, let alone they came to deliver money," and the crow even smiled slightly to show friendliness. "You won't be able to laugh anymore soon." "What?" Bang! The answer to him was a fist the size of a sandbag hitting his face, causing his nose bridge to dry and break, and nosebleeds to flow freely. Everyone is blinded, so is the crow. What about the agreed negotiation? How can we start right away? Painfully covering its nose, the crow pointed a watermelon knife at Ding Xiu. With a wrist-folding motion, a severe pain emanated from the wrist, and the watermelon knife fell into Ding Xiu's hand. Then, a sharp knife light struck down his head. "I'm really getting cold." Staring wide-eyed, the crow's pupils suddenly shrank, and his head went blank. He never expected to encounter such a ruthless stubble. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Buying a mobile phone. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Buying a mobile phone from hands on to cutting. The entire process took only a few seconds, and everyone's heads were buzzing as they saw the light of the knife fall. The director stood there dumbfounded and looked at Qin Gang, as if saying, "This is the solution you're talking about. I told you to settle the matter, it's not murder." Qin Gang was also dumbfounded. He didn't know that Ding Xiu would kill anyone. Seeing this posture, he was afraid that he wouldn't be able to kill him, so he deliberately chopped his head. The blade flashed by, and the crow charged straight to the ground. Ding Xiu was still stunned for a moment. He looked at the watermelon blade and saw that there were no blood stains, almost thinking that his strength was too strong. He didn't want to kill anyone. This knife only scratched the skin of the crow, the tip of the knife gently frozen on the bone in the center of the eyebrow, and the forehead bone was hard. With his mastery of the knife technique, it was said that breaking the skin would never harm the bone. It seems that the crow has been scared unconscious. "Brother!" With a roar, the second in command of the rogue group rushed out with a knife in hand, and his own brother lay down. Witnessing his own brother being killed with his own eyes, he couldn't sit still. At this point, his eyes were already red, and he slashed at Ding Xiu's neck with a fierce blow. Ding Xiu raised his hand and used the back of his knife to block it. The man's knife bounced out, followed by a move called the Kasaya slash, which struck the neck. Bang! The back of the knife was slashed at the neck, and another one fell down, which was knocked unconscious. Killing one person with one knife is a bit scary. Not everyone is a fugitive. The eldest and second brothers are both dead, and the others will run away if they act recklessly. Stop! With a roar, Ding Xiu stopped a few younger people and pointed his knife at the two lying on the ground. Take them both away. Suddenly, he remembered to retrieve the cigarette given by the director from the crow's shirt pocket, which was his trophy. The phrase, "killing and setting fire to a golden belt," will never go out of style. He worked in group performances for 21 days, not every day. He was lucky to earn 200 yuan a month. Now, in less than 5 minutes, he has earned 1,500 yuan, which is about half a year's salary for group performances. Before arriving at Qin Gang, Ding Xiu said, "Am I doing okay?" Punishment. Too much punishment. Qin Gang's peach blossom hairstyle had already been soaked with sweat, and he said in a crying voice, "Brother, I told you to settle the matter and didn't let you kill anyone. If the police come later, you should explain it clearly. Don't run away, turn yourself in and try to be lenient." In front of everyone, they all saw that he was giving money to Ding Xiu. If we don't explain it clearly, those who don't know would think it was him who bought the murder. Murder. I didn't kill. Ding Xiuyang picked up his watermelon knife, and Qin Gang thought he was going to kill him. He was so scared that he took a few steps back. Look, there's no blood on the knife. The first one was scared unconscious, and the second one I used was the back of the knife. I was unconscious for a few hours before waking up. Seeing that the blade was only slightly soaked in watermelon juice, Qin Gang calmed down a lot and said, "Did you really not kill me?" Ding Xiu sneered, "Let me kill for 1,000 yuan. What do you think?" Qin Gang's heart trembled, and upon hearing this tone, he might consider giving 10,000 yuan. It's good if it's not killed, it's good if it's not killed. Director, are we still filming? The director also came over slowly. There was no blood on the blade and no blood on the ground, which was not the scene of the murder. Everyone had never eaten pork and had never seen a pig run away. I was really wiped on my neck and couldn't shed 10 or 8 pounds of blood. I was also scared just now. Shoot, continue shooting, hurry up, and strive for half an hour of completion. Each department should take their respective positions. No matter whether the performance is good or not, the last few lines are passed in one go. After more than 20 minutes of completion, the group performance salary was handed over to Chin Gang. The director and the crew got on the train and ran away in a flash. Line up one by one, and those who read their names will come and collect the money. Brother, you're 20, what's your name? Little black chubby Chin Gang smiled brightly and tied Ding Xiu's knot first, holding a pen and preparing to draw his name. Ding Xiu. Good taxi, you can take a seat in the car for a while first. After I send out the money, we'll go back. Chen Peng. He Chao, who is so special. He Chao, deaf in the ears. Wang Baoqiang. Knowing that Wang Baoqiang and Ding Xiu came together, Chin Gang dared not take a 5 yuan kickback from him and, like the others, gave him 20. The driver stepped on the gas pedal, and the van's exhaust pipe emitted black smoke, causing the vehicle to hiss and gradually move away. The car was very quiet, completely different from the noise when I first arrived. Ding Xiu didn't speak, and the others were calm and breathless. After arriving at the entrance of the Beijing film studio, the car had just stopped when the door opened with a loud bang, and everyone rushed to get off. The next day, at 3:30 a.m., the alarm clock was turned off by Wang Baoqiang less than 3 seconds after it rang. He got out of bed carefully, afraid of waking Ding Xiu. He didn't dare to ask in a low voice until he finished washing up. Ding, brother Xiu, are you going to the Beijing film studio today? Turning over, Ding Xiu muttered, don't disturb me. He just made money yesterday and doesn't want to work today. He only looks for work when he has no money, and usually doesn't move when he has money. He only considers work when he has enough food, drink. Last night, he had a wild meal with Wang Baoqiang, spending over 200 yuan. Ding Xiu slept until 6:30, washed his face and brushed his teeth, ran outside for an hour to exercise, played 2 sets of fists in the park, and came back to eat 8 noodles, 2 drawers of steamed buns, and a bowl of soybean milk in the street restaurant. After wiping his body with water in the basement and changing into clean clothes, Ding Xiu went out again. Sitting on the number 8 bus, he arrived at the Forbidden City and spent 40 yuan on the ticket. Live again, this is the place he most wants to come to. Did you come in for 40 yuan? Ding Xiu couldn't help but laugh and cry. Back in the day, this was the home of Wan Suiyi, the most prestigious place in the world. Now, it only costs 40 yuan to visit and wander freely. Wumen, Taihe Hall, Zhanghe Hall, Baohe Hall, Qianqing Palace, Jiaotai Hall, Cunning Palace, Shenwu Gate. After wandering around the Forbidden City for a day, Ding Xiu went to all the scenic spots that were open to the public. He was also a bit restless about those that were not open, and the security personnel looked at him with a bit of a problem. On the way back, he bought a mobile phone, Ericsson T29, flip top, for 1,099 yuan. He is very envious of this new thing, and it can transmit sound from thousands of miles away. It's really impressive if there are any, so he must buy it. If there is a chance, he still wants to take a plane, experience 1,000 miles in a day, want to go abroad and try out the ocean horse. Want 3, brother Xiu, can I borrow my phone? This is a mobile phone. When I have money, I will buy one. Play a song to listen to. In the basement, Wang Baoqiang couldn't bear to put down Ding Xiu's phone and explored various functions. He looked left and right, as if looking at his wife, and his eyes almost sank into the screen. Don't you give your family a call? Ding Xiu asked. In his era, even 18-year-old men and children could run, but in this era, they were just children. When they were young and went on a long journey for the first time, few did not miss home. Wang Baoqiang shook his head and said, no, I won't fight until I get ahead. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Xiaoao Jianghu Drama Team. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 6 Xiao Jianghu Drama Team at 3.30, the alarm clock rang on time, and Ding Xiu only had over 100 yuan left on him. It was time to start work. Running to the entrance of the Beijing film studio, practicing boxing and fitness, followed by aimless waiting. The source of group performance information is limited, and it is impossible to know when a production team will start. We can only wait hard. If we have good luck, we will start working when the production team hires. If we have bad luck, we will waste our youth on the sidelines. For example, Wang Baoqiang didn't meet the crew all day yesterday. At 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 7 o'clock, as the red sun rises, the staff of the Beijing film studio have already started working. Unable to resist the loneliness, the group performers gathered together to fight against landlords, boasting and talking vividly about the battle of the past 2 days, which had already spread on the internet. 3 people make a tiger, and everyone knows that there is a ruthless person named Ding Xiu in the group performance. He cuts down more than 10 people with one knife, and there is also a saying that Ding Xiu killed 8 lives in a row, killing the sky and the earth in darkness, with blood flowing into a river. When asked why Ding Xiu didn't get caught after killing so many people, they said he ran away all night to hide from the crowd. My fellow villager said that Ding Xiu was originally a habitual criminal. In 1995, he wiped out the village bully's family in the village and became a professional assassin after running away. Isn't it said to be in his 20s? In 1995, at the age of 15, he could wipe out the entire family. 20 farts, over 30. At this time, the person concerned was eating deep-fried dough sticks and drinking soybean milk 7 or 8 meters away. Hearing these people talking more and more outrageously, Ding Xiu was speechless. When he was considering whether to go up and introduce himself, 2 buses came to the street. The iconic Iron Chain, Peach Heart, and Little Black Chubby Chin Gang got off the car. Anti-Japanese drama, 30 yuan per day, recruiting 100 people. Not for women, not for those over 40 years old, not for those with disabilities, get on the car in an orderly manner one by one. The door of the bus was instantly filled with people, all pushing forward in the darkness. The crew only had 100 people, at least 200 here, and if it's too late, it'll be gone. Chin Gang didn't want to be with these stinky people, so he stood at the front of the car and lit a cigarette. There are only a few people, please leave when the seats are full, and all those who will stand later please get off. There were also people who took the initiative to stuff cigarettes into Chin Gang's pocket. As soon as he collected the cigarettes, he saw Ding Xiu walking towards him not far away. I can't even hide if I want to. Chin Gu, it's you. Do you think I'm good? Ding Xiu squinted his eyes and asked. Brother, just call me Lao Chin. Chin Gang's heart trembled as he forced a smile. With just your image, playing the male lead is enough. Can I get on the car then? Of course it can. Chin Gang shouted as he cleared the person blocking the car door, make way, don't block the way. Driving away the person sitting in the first row, Chin Gang gave his seat to Ding Xiu. The others dared not speak out and Wang Baoqiang, who had been following Ding Xiu, quickly sat beside him. Ding Xiu glanced at him and thought to himself, isn't this kid stupid? Wait, Lao Chin, leave your phone number. Ding Xiu took out his phone and called Chin Gang, who was about to get off the car. It's too troublesome to wait for the show. You can call me in advance if there are any shows in the future. The surroundings were quiet for a few seconds, and even the driver turned back in surprise. I thought to myself, this guy is so arrogant. Where is it sacred? A group performance is a prop that cannot be seen as a person on the set. In the eyes of the group leader, it is a tool for making money. Calling you on the car is for you to eat, and daring Chin Gang to call you in advance is quite impressive. Unexpectedly, Chin Gang agreed and bravely took out his Nokia phone, saying, 185. He actually doesn't want to deal with people like Ding Xiu. The kind of aura he accidentally reveals is really chilling. He has been in society for so many years and has been exposed to all kinds of people. Ding Xiu is even more dangerous than the fugitives he knows. How brave is it to confront more than 10 people for 1,000 yuan, to strike their heads and necks with a knife, and to make a mistake would result in 2 lives. This is only 1,000 yuan. If we give him 10,000 yuan, will we really kill someone? Today's production team is at the Bai Film and Television Base, which is a red film and television base mainly producing anti-Japanese films. The base is divided into a cultural and military theater area. The martial arts theater where Ding Xiu and his team arrived. Wuxi is tiring and requires physical fitness, which is also why Qin Gang drives for 30 yuan a day and doesn't want the elderly or women. Xiu Gu. Qin Gang waved at Ding Xiu and said, "You play the role of a machine gunner, you don't have to run around." This character is a special actor who shows his face. It costs 150 yuan a day, and there are also a few lines. Under normal circumstances, the group performance lasts for 21 days, with 51 days for special actors who have lines. The highest number of performances is for corpses, but due to bad luck, it is also very difficult to perform 101 days. Whether it is summer or winter, lying on the ground motionless for a whole day, who will do it if there is less money? Ding Xiu has lines, is a special actor, and the scene of being shot and sacrificed requires portraying the body, totaling 151 days. With Qin Gang's ability, most of the mass actors, special actors, long tao, supporting role, and leading actors can only get involved in special actors. This role was originally reserved for him. A few days ago, I almost had a conflict with Ding Xiu on set, and giving him a special appointment was considered compensation. Thank you. My own brother, I'm seeing you outside. You can change your clothes first, and I'll take you to find the assistant director. We'll talk about the play together later. In front of the truck, the group performance began to grab clothes. These props and clothes are all rented by the clothing company. I have already filmed many scenes before, and they are not cleaned every day. The sour smell and foot odor are very strong, and some helmets are moldy. Ding Xiu plays the role of the 8-root machine gunman, who lies in the trenches throughout the entire journey without leaving the pit or wearing a helmet. Selecting a relatively clean piece of clothing, Ding Xiu, holding a machine gun, and more than 10 actors were called together by the deputy director to teach the play. This is your position, this is your. After the game is over, when the little devils run to this position, you need to move. Your line is brothers hit me hard, speak louder, have a fierce expression, and carry a murderous aura. Come on, demonstrate it first. Brothers, hit me hard. Ding Xiu's fierce and murderous performance satisfied the deputy director and even praised his talent. 1 hour later, filming officially began. Click, bang. Ah, da 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 da. Bayou, bayou, bayou. Pulling the bolt, loading the gun, and the group performers even made a sound, playing happily. Ding Xiu lay motionless in the trench. In front of the team, the cameraman's camera was constantly focused on the lead actor. War films are difficult to shoot, and there are many scenes that need to be switched, but battles cannot be interrupted, so group performances need to be kept running around. Once, twice, 3 times. As the morning passed, I couldn't say how many times I had acted, and the group performers were all lifeless and exhausted. The actor who played the corpse lay in the mud countless times. Machine gunner Ding Xiu has already sacrificed himself. He died in the trench, with his body lying motionless on his side. If you pay attention, he is holding a phone in his hand and flipping over to continue playing when tired. In the next few days, Ding Xiu took good care of Qin Gang. Whenever he had nothing to do, he called to ask if there were any characters. Qin Gang wanted to say no, but those characters were all his, but he was afraid of making Ding Xiu unhappy. 1 week later. Hey, brother Xiu, don't mention the special appointment. The Xiaoao Jianghu crew is recruiting people. Do you want to give it a try? With your skills, it won't be a problem to play a trick. In martial arts dramas, actors who know martial arts have an advantage and are just a routine. From the perspective of martial arts skills and appearance, Ding Xiu should be able to handle it. After seeing the big cast and receiving a daily salary of several hundred yuan, Ding Xiu should not be interested in his small details. Qin Gang is very confident about this. It's like experiencing the 298 service of a high-end club, who would go to the street to eat 98 fast food. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Trial Play. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7 Trial Play. Brother Xiu, do you still read books? Wang Baoqiang came back from work and was surprised to see Ding Xiu sitting cross-legged on the bed flipping through books. In my impression, Ding Xiu doesn't seem like a person who can read books. However, after seeing that it was Ben Xiaoao who was proud of the martial arts world, he felt relieved again. His emotions were based on martial arts novels, which was in line with Ding Xiu's personality. Without looking up, Ding Xiudao said, "Isn't this what I learned from you?" After Zhou Xueshan left, the actor's self-cultivation that had been left behind fell into the hands of Wang Baoqiang. He frequently flipped through it and read it more seriously than Zhou Xueshan. With a blush on his face, Wang Baoqiang said, "I'm blind." At 10 o'clock in the evening, there were many mosquitoes in the room. Ding Xiu took a book and went outside to look under the street lamp. At 12 o'clock, I finished reading the second volume of Xiaoao Jianghu. Tomorrow he will go to the production team to audition and learn some knowledge temporarily. This is what Qin Gang taught him. This guy is a good person and quite enthusiastic. Returning to the Tongpu and lying down, Ding Xiu closed his eyes, and Wang Baoqiang's voice came from the darkness. "Brother Xiu, can you teach me some martial arts skills?" "Don't teach." Ding Xiu flipped over and turned his back to Wang Baoqiang. After thinking for a moment, he flipped over again and leaned his buttocks against the wall. Oh, Wang Baoqiang didn't have any further information. Ding Xiu knew that Wang Baoqiang was young and often bullied in this area. Learning martial arts was to hit people. His martial arts are all killing skills, and his attacks are either fatal or injurious. Before learning, Wang Baoqiang was most bullied and beaten, and after learning, he may have to go to jail. If you are bullied in the future, please call me your name. Brother, then I'll just hang out with you. Wang Baoqiang suddenly got up. Can Ding Xiu's name cover people up? Just take a look at the day when he scared away more than 10 hooligans with a single blow, and Qin Gang's attitude. Ding Xiu didn't go to the Beijing film studio today. After exercising in the morning, he went to the department store to buy clothes. At 10 o'clock, he had to audition for the show, which made him look more stylish. As his top horse, Bao Chang also came along. In the fitting room, Ding Xiu walked out. With a figure of 1.8 meters, Shiramura wore a straight shirt, black suit pants, and brand new leather shoes. In front of the mirror, he applied newly bought hair gel, and his slightly long hair was all gathered behind his head, combed into a back. "Sir, this outfit suits you very well, it's very handsome." The female salesperson with her long wavy hair permed in front of her eyes lit up. She stepped forward to help him flip down the wrinkled collar, and boldly lifted the hem and stuffed it into her suit pants. When wearing a shirt, you can't expose the hem, you need to tie it into your pants to stay energized. Ding Xiu opened his arms to cooperate and felt that her hands were a bit deep. "Thank you." "No need to thank you, has anyone said you look like Sun Long?" "You are the first one." "Huh, really? You look so pretty, you must be an actor." "Do mass actors count as actors?" "If they do, I am." "Thank you, the total amount is 460 yuan. The front counter will check out." Wearing this outfit, Ding Xiu went to the counter to pay. Wang Baoqiang put his original clothes and pants away in a bag and ran a few steps to follow him. Brother, if you don't mention the group performance, the female salesperson will definitely win. People rely on clothing. Ding Xiu looks really handsome when he dresses up slightly, with a straight figure and hard facial features, just like the salesperson said, like Sunlong. This face alone is enough to kill indiscriminately at the entrance of the North Film Studio. I'm not interested in this kind of rouge powder, Ding Xiu said calmly, determined not to act in a group anymore. 10 o'clock, Hongyun Hotel. Ding Xiu stood in a long queue in the hallway, holding freshly baked resumes that still emitted ink fragrance. This is the recruitment location for actors by the Xiaoao Jianghu drama team. There is a humanoid sign at the entrance, with audition characters and requirements for actors on it. First, 20 to 20.5 years old. Secondly, for men, it is 1.75 meters or more, and for women it is 1.65 meters or more. Thirdly, the facial features are upright and the appearance is generous. Thirdly, having performance experience. Simply put, men should be handsome and women should be beautiful. The first few lines were met by Ding Xiu, and the last line was one in which he reflected on his acting experience after acting for so many days. There are 2 rows in the queue, one for men and one for women, separated by 1 meter. Are you sure, Lin Pingji? A girl next to her suddenly said as she watched Ding Xiu. Ding Xiu was stunned for a second, then touched his chin and said, yes. Why don't I try Lin Pingji? He has read the notice outside and the role of Lin Pingji is undecided. Seeing Ding Xiu's eyes flickering and not saying a word, the girl was uninteresting. After pouting, she turned her head aside. On the contrary, a boy in front of Ding Xiu heard that someone was the same as the character he auditioned for, so he turned around and took a few more glances. His name is Li Jie, a third-year student at Beijing Radio and Television University. Glancing at Ding Xiu's facial features and measuring his height, his heart suddenly felt uneasy. Next. The people behind me should be prepared, fix their positions and don't move. Hand over my resume and call my name in. The staff received resumes from more than 10 people at once, and it wasn't until these interviews were completed that they continued to accept the next batch. After a few waves of people, it was noon. Li Jie. Get ready for the next Ding Xiu. After a few minutes, Li Jie came out with a smile on his face. Ding Xiu pushed open the door and entered. There were 2 tables in front of him, with 2 middle-aged men sitting. Hello director, my name is Ding Xiu, and I. You don't need to be so detailed, Huang Jianzhong interrupted him with a raised hand. It's on your profile resume. Just make sure it's me. What role would you be trying on? Lin Pingji. Huang Jianzhong frowned and said, you are not a graduate of a science class and have almost no performance experience. Why would you think it is suitable for Lin Pingji? Apart from his height and the face in the photo, there is not a single light on the front half of Ding Xiu's resume. If it weren't for the fact that the back half states that he has a foundation in martial arts, knows how to fight, wield swords, and archery, he might not have been able to get through the door. Ding Xiu said seriously, yesterday I watched Xiaoao Jianghu and felt that this character is quite suitable for me. Huang Jian, the director of literary and theatrical works, and Yuan Bing, the director of martial arts, burst out laughing. I just saw it yesterday with a proud smile, and today I'm here to interview Lin Pingji. Young people nowadays don't know whether they have the courage or the thick skin. If Mr. Jean were here, he might be going to hit someone. Yuan Bing stopped his smile and said seriously, let's not talk about Lin Pingji for now. There are quite a few things you know on your resume, so we can't just believe what you write. Let's show you some martial arts. Lin Pingji used swordsmanship, and if Ding Xiu wanted to perform it, it would definitely be swordsmanship. He looked around and saw a broom in the corner of the wall. He walked over and stepped on one end of the broom, holding an 80-centimeter long wooden stick in his hand. Yuan Bing and Huang Jian both twitched at the corners of their mouths. With the sword in his hand, Ding Xiu's temperament changed. With a fierce and murderous aura, he arched his hand at the two of them and stabbed the long sword straight, turning, chopping. With ease, he also exuded a murderous aura. The room was filled with the sound of sticks whizzing through the air. Ding Xiu is trained in swordsmanship, but he has not specialized in it before. However, he knows some basics, and at his level, he is versatile and can wield any weapon a few times. Not to mention being used to deceive two modern people, killing enemies is enough. After tying up two sword flowers, Ding Xiu calmly collected his sword and carried it behind his back. Ahead, Huang Jian and Yuan Bing clapped and cheered, very satisfied. Huang Jianzhong has never learned martial arts and is an outsider, but even if he is an outsider, this set of swordsmanship makes him unaware of its sharpness. Outsiders watch the hustle and bustle, while insiders watch the door. Yuan Bing is from Hong Kong Island and has been practicing martial arts in a theater troupe since childhood. He is one of the 7 little blessings. His senior brothers include Huang Jinbao, Cheng Long, and others. In his eyes, Ding Xiu's swordsmanship was not systematic, but full of killing intent, with each move aimed at the enemy's vital points. This is a true practitioner. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Mastery of all 18 martial arts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Mastery of all 18 martial arts. Before Ding Xiu came in, Yuan Bing had originally intended for him to play the role of a lackluster actor, such as the 4 show in Qingcheng. It's very troublesome to adjust actors these days, especially in martial arts plays. It's just a matter of starring, but it's a matter of time. There's no need for long tao and small supporting role. There are not many plays, so we can recruit martial arts directly. As long as the appearance is acceptable, we can make do with the weak points of acting foundation. Now it seems that if Ding Xiu hadn't lied, his martial arts foundation wouldn't be any better, and it's not an exaggeration to say he's versatile. With his martial arts skills, as well as his swords, spears, and swords, as well as his archery and horseback riding skills, he couldn't even find a few in the entertainment industry. His face is still good looking, with sword eyebrows and starry eyes, and sharp edges. He knew he was a handsome guy in ancient costume without wearing it. The only downside is that there is too little acting experience, or rather no acting experience. Running a group performance for a few days is not considered acting. Unfortunately, Huang Jianzhong sighed. Li Jie, who had just gone out, was in the opposite situation to Ding Xiu. He was in his 3rd year at Beijing Radio and Television University and had already filmed several dramas. He had dance skills, but he had not learned martial arts or horseback riding. He was also a bit older, at the age of 25. Lin Pingji appeared at the age of 20, and even though Li Jie's acting skills were good, he may not be able to portray that youthful feeling. Ding Xiu has an advantage in this aspect, as he is already 20 years old and doesn't need to act. Is it true that you said you can ride horses? To what extent can you reach? Yuan Bing asked. Like walking on a flat ground. The Qi family army mainly engaged in infantry and horse warfare. As a descendant of the Qi family sword, his weapon was the Yulin army sword, predecessor of the Miao sword, which was powerful and heavy, with great opening and closing movements, mainly coordinated with horses. Under the high-speed impact of war horses, the combination of humans and horses can cut through a thigh-thick tree with just one strike. Yuan Bing. Young people should not speak too fully. Ding Xiu shrugged and said, to be honest, director, can I play Lin Pingji? You don't have any acting experience, so you may not be able to play Lin Pingji. This character is not something that can be mastered with good martial arts skills, but rather the contrast after experiencing the process. You have high requirements for literary and theatrical performances. Huang Jianzhong patiently explained. Ding Xiu didn't appreciate it at all and said, how do you know if you can't do it without trying? If it weren't for the sign of Ling Hu Chong hanging at the entrance, he would have auditioned for the male lead role today. Now he has already taken a second place, and if he retreats further, it will be a trap, which is so boring. It seemed like the first time encountering this kind of stunned youth. Huang Jianzhong frowned and Yuan Bing said calmly, "Give him a chance to try a section. Say and hand over a page of the script. Give you 5 minutes to familiarize yourself, and later I'll give you the acting." The previous person who came in, Li Jie, also experienced this hurdle, and their performance in the literary drama satisfied the two of them. Huang Jianzhong's evaluation is that there is a hint of malice in his kind gaze, which is very consistent with the image after blackening in the later stage. Wait a minute. Huang Jianzhong handed another page of the script to Ding Xiu. "If you want to try it, then try this one." Lin Pingji's image mainly consists of 2 characters. In the early stage, he was an elegant young master and a chivalrous young man. In the later stage, when he learned the truth, he was overwhelmed by hatred, cruel and ruthless, and his methods were cruel. Yuan Bing gave a 1-page script for the early stage, while he gave it for the later stage. He wanted to portray 2 completely different styles. Withdrawing the script, Yuan Bing became a bit worried and said helplessly, "It's okay." The difficulty level of the script that Ding Xiu received was higher than that of the page that Li Jie received. The elegant young master and the free-spirited wealthy youth were easier to play, while the villains were not that easy. The intensity was not as strong as a clown, and the intensity was too strong as a madman. Taking the A4 paper, it was Ding Xiu's first time receiving the script. His lines were written in the first person, with parentheses at the end, indicating the emotions of the characters. There were very few words, and some were just one word, such as angry or mocking, which was more one-sided and required the actors to explore on their own. 5 minutes passed quickly, and Yuan Bing said, "Are you ready?" "All right," Ding Xiu nodded. In this scene, Lin Pingji, who had practiced the exorcism sword manual, threatened Lao Dino to take him up the mountain to seek revenge. In front of many people, he revealed the essence of the exorcism sword manual and hit Yu Buchuan in the face on the spot. "Let's get started." Taking a deep breath, Ding Xiu lowered his head and pondered for a few seconds. He raised his head slightly, his eyes slightly closed, and said towards the direction of the yellow sword. "Lao Dino, I won't treat you unfairly if you take me to Huashan. Don't you want to know the demon-repelling sword manual? I tell you, it's okay if you all hear it. Lin Pingji, what do you want to do?" Yu Buchuan, who made a guest appearance by Yuan Bing, said. "Aren't you going to compete with Ren Wuxing? If all your subordinates have learned the demon-repellent sword manual, who else in the world would be your opponent?" Ding Xiu chuckled softly and continued, "Okay, let me tell you all. The first sentence is, if you want to practice this skill, you must first go to the palace." Ha ha ha. Yu Buchuan, have you, the leader of the 5 Mountains sword sect, gone to the palace? Do you dare to take off your pants and show it to everyone? A sarcastic remark about Yu Buchuan fell into Ding Xiu's mouth, making people hear a mixture of sarcasm, self-deprecation, and a hint of desolation in his voice, inevitably adding a touch of sympathy. Huang Jianzhong admitted that this episode was better than Li Jie in the last audition. Li Jie's eyes were a bit sinister. This was his mother's sinister face. He said it with his throat pinched. The prison was so angry that he felt numb all over. But who knows if Ding Xiu is performing exceptionally well, just for a while. Cough cough, how do you understand the character Lin Pingji? Have you passed the first level? Ding Xiuran understood. The script did not mention that Lin Pingji was a eunuch. Fortunately, he read it yesterday and learned that he had practiced the exorcism sword manual. He had just specially learned a section of the eunuch's tone. He doesn't know how others imitate eunuchs, but he has actually met eunuchs and personally dealt with them. These people have physical disabilities, but their personalities are not lacking, just like normal people. Some are even more men than men, such as Zhao Jingzhong, with a long spear in his hand, and Shen Lian has been pierced. If it weren't for Zhao Jingzhong nailing Shen Lian to the tree and talking a lot of nonsense, Shen Lian would have died, and in the end, he would have had to take action to clean up the mess. To get to the point, Ding Xiu didn't think much and opened his mouth, saying, "He is a normal person, a wealthy young master, and a chivalrous young man. He should have lived a life of luxury, but his drunkenness caused trouble for the whole family." The famous teachers he met also had ulterior motives. After learning the truth, there was only one path before him. To practice the demon repeating sword manual. Whenever there was a noble and righteous sect, and a martial arts expert presided over justice for him, he wouldn't have done it. He just wanted revenge. It wasn't him who was wrong, it was the world. Thinking from a different perspective, the village bully killed your parents in order to occupy your family's land. The government did not care, and the village elders only condemned you a few times. The director took you as son-in-law and still went towards the land. If you have a way to kill your enemy, you may also be the next Lin Ping. Stop and stop. Huang Jianzhong interrupted Ding Xiu's lengthy speech with a black face. The young man now talked endlessly about key politics and yellow, let's go out first, wait for the notice. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Meeting Zhang Dashu. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 Meeting Zhang Dashu, what do you think? After Ding Xiu left, no one was allowed in, and Yuan Bing and Huang Jianzhong engaged in a discussion. Playing Lin Pingji is a bit suspenseful. Huang Jianzhong's eyebrows were a bit worried. If only he had graduated from a science class, even if he hadn't graduated from his junior year like Li Jie. Yuan Bing retorted, we are recruiting actors, not civil servants. Is education so important? Is having the ability enough? How many people from TVB have education? Lu Dehua is a hairdresser, Zhou Xingqi works in an electronics factory, Tony Liang is a salesperson, and Gu Zai has even been in prison. My senior brothers Hong Jinbao, Cheng Long, and others in the drama troupe play acrobatics. They all lack education, so I think we should give young people opportunities. Huang Jianzhong smiled bitterly and said, mainland China is different from Xinjiang. Science students still have an advantage, and it is very difficult to train pure beginners. In my freshman year, I liberated my nature and gained an understanding of the history of domestic and foreign films. In my sophomore year, I went on stage to learn sketches. In my third year, I graduated with a play in the third row. In my senior year, I interned, and as a science student, I only learned basic knowledge for 1 or 2 years. In my opinion, it was no different from most ordinary people. Although he is from Xinjiang, when it comes to the film academy, Yuan Bing is like a family treasure. After 1 or 2 years in the film academy, what I have learned is limited, isn't it basic knowledge? Li Jie and Ding Xiu are only half a pound. Neither of the two could convince the other, and Huang Jianzhong stopped arguing. It doesn't matter who we choose, let's leave it to the boss to decide. Yuan Bing nodded and said, I believe that Lao Zhang's vision is the same as mine. The second male lead is not a small character, and the two of them cannot be the main actors. They can only propose, and Zhang Jizhong is the one who ultimately makes the decision. 2 days later, a list of interview candidates with their resumes landed in front of Zhang Jizhong. The role of Lin Pingji is quite popular. Zhang Jizhong was surprised to see over 70 candidates. These are filtered out, and we don't know how many there are before they are filtered out. It can be seen how hot this play is. The two names at the top are Li Jie and Ding Xiu. Li Jie's role is very ordinary, and he is a third-year student at Beijing Radio and Television University. He has acted in 2 plays, but in Zhang Jizhong's opinion, neither of them is a strong point. With 10 years of dance skills and a beautiful appearance in ancient costumes. Is there a hint of malice in kind eyes? Zhang Jizhong smiled when he saw Huang Jianzhong's evaluation. I'm afraid this is also why Li Jie's resume appeared in front of him. Many people have acted at the age of 25, but not many have 10 years of dance skills, which is important for martial arts dramas. Ordinary actors find it difficult to play, with stiff and unnatural movements. Many movements require stunt doubles, and those with dance skills may have a more graceful and flexible posture. Opening the second resume, it's Ding Xiu's. The first half is very ordinary, without any eye-catching features, except for being handsome. If you look closely, it has a bit of a dragon-like meaning. My professional expertise in the latter part is excessive. With 15 years of martial arts skills, I am proficient in punches, swords, guns, and sticks, as well as horseback riding and archery. In the evaluation column, Yuan Bing wrote, I have a strong foundation in martial arts, especially skilled in swordsmanship. Although I have not studied acting professionally, I have a great talent for acting and have a deep understanding of the characters. I highly recommend it. To be honest, Zhang Jizhong is a bit curious about Ding Xiu. He knows the personality of Yuan Bing and generally does not praise others easily. Most of it is cursing, especially when actors do not meet his designed action requirements. This is almost exaggerated on Ding Xiu's resume. Li Jie has 10 years of dance skills, while Ding Xiu has 15 years of martial arts skills and can also ride horses and shoot arrows. The two are completely incomparable, with the latter turning the former into a mess. Li Jie's performance experience is not an advantage either. He sets the age of actors between 20 and 25, so he doesn't expect to have much advanced acting skills. After joining the group, he gradually trains them. After a moment of contemplation, Zhang Jizhong put Ding Xiu's resume aside separately. He is not someone who judges people based on their education. When he was filming Romance of the Three Kingdoms and Water Margin, many actors had no education. Some were Sanda athletes, some were small shop owners, some were models, and some were group performers. He only has one requirement for casting, which is suitable for the character. If Ding Xiu were like Yuan Bing said, he wouldn't mind giving young people a chance. After the interview, Ding Xiu waited for 3 days to rent a house. 3 days later, he received a call from the production team at noon, asking him to go for an interview the next day. The meeting location was no longer the same hotel. Still wearing the same outfit, Ding Xiu took a taxi to the suburban racetrack. The first person I saw was Yuan Bing, and the second was Zhang Jizhong. He had a signature long beard and wore an old Beijing sleeveless coat and 1,000-layer bottom cloth shoes. This is the only one in the directing industry. Hello director, I'm Ding Xiu. Hello, hello. After shaking hands, Zhang Jizhong's gaze did not stop. He was very satisfied with Ding Xiu's appearance and was indeed a handsome guy. Director Yuan said that your swordsmanship is very high, can you show it? No problem. Seeing Ding Xiu turn his head to look for something, Yuan Bing smiled and gave him a sword prepared in advance. I didn't have a broom today to cause trouble for you. Let's use this one. Sword is a standardized sports equipment of the Martial Arts Association that has not yet been fully developed, which is the kind played by old men and women in the park. Drawing his sword and pulling 2 sword flowers, Ding Xiu casually played a set of swordsmanship after familiarizing himself with the feel. Compared to the one he tried out a few days ago, this set was more ornamental and very handsome. This was something he only realized afterwards. Some swordsmanship has great killing power, but it may not be visually appealing. Joining the cast is not murder, and the director may not be discerning. This kind of flashy and useful. Piercing, chopping, teasing, tapping, hanging, breaking, cutting, moving and flickering, he turned his body in the air at 720 degrees. Ding Xiu played a set of sword techniques that were light, agile, fast, elegant, and graceful. Anyone who saw it would have to give a thumbs up and praise it for its beauty. After collecting the sword, Ding Xiu arched his hand and clenched his fist. Zhang Jizhong stepped forward and said, I can see that your martial arts skills are indeed very high. Your resume says that you still know martial arts. Would you mind showing it? You can showcase it, but director, please let me know in advance that you can call me. I came over with a few hundred yuan worth of scenes for a day without filming, and they were both skilled in swordsmanship and martial arts. If you don't pass the audition, you will have to reimburse the round-trip fare and lost time expenses. Yuan Bing turned his head to one side, looking really embarrassed. Zhang Jizhong laughed heartily and said, "Don't worry, if you don't choose me, I will definitely reimburse you. Then I can rest assured." The long sword returned to its scabbard, and Ding Xiu immediately put in a set of punches. His fist style was fierce, and he was full of momentum. His swordsmanship could be deceiving, but it was not easy to weave, so he could only play it for real. Just like the first time Yuan Bing saw Ding Xiu playing with a sword, Zhang Jizhong unconsciously put away his smile and became serious. He has collaborated with many martial arts actors, and Ding Xiu has something they don't have. He can't say exactly what it is, it's unique and attractive. After watching it, it's hard to forget. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. 30,000 yuan film remuneration. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. 30,000 yuan film remuneration. The last action was to straighten the carp. After getting up, Ding Xiu looked at the white shirt and said, "Director, I bought this new outfit." Report. Zhang Jizhong nodded and said, "The last item is to try horseback riding, and also report on suits and pants." Ding Xiu gave a thumbs up and said, "Director Zhang is particular. Next time, I will try your play." Zhang Jizhong couldn't help but laugh and cry, "Thank you for looking up to me. I also want to cooperate with you if there is a chance in the future." In the racecourse, the horse master has already pulled out the horse, which is a black horse with a height of 2 meters, strong muscles, a face with white spots, and a mane from the head to the neck that moves without wind. Good horse. Ding Xiu's eyes lit up, he touched the horse's cheek with his hand, then flipped over and got on the horse. He grabbed the reins with both hands and pulled back, squeezing his legs hard. Sigh. The horse lifted its front hooves and jumped up high in the upper half, startling Zhang Jizhong, Yuan Bing, and Ma Shi. After landing with 2 hooves, excited Ding Xiu grabbed the reins with one hand and patted the horse's buttocks with his free right hand. Drive. The snow-white hooves stomped on the ground in smoke and dust, and one person and one horse flew away like arrows from a bow. With this skill, Yuan Bing knew that Ding Xiu's Lin Ping was safe. "This kid is fine, it's him," Zhang Jizhong agreed. "I also think he's good, he doesn't have any martial arts skills." Yuan Bing suddenly realized that Ding Xiu was missing, and there was only one horse running on the field, with no figures on his back. He crouched on the horse's belly. The experienced horse master knew what was going on when he saw a foot hanging from the horse's buttocks. This riding method was a tactic used by soldiers in ancient times to avoid bows and arrows in a battle between 2 armies. The difficulty level was quite high, and no non-professional rider would play like this. Sure enough, a few seconds later, Ding Xiu stood up and sat back on his horse, controlling the horse to slow down. He slowly approached the few people and flipped over to dismount. "I haven't ridden for a long time, I feel a bit itchy. I apologize. When you become a character, you can come over anytime," Zhang Jizhong said with a faint smile. "Let's go out and talk." Across from the stable, in a private room, Zhang Jizhong asked his assistant to take out the contract and script, and gave Ding Xiu an envelope containing 10,000 yuan, "Lin Pingji is yours now. There is a total of 30,000 yuan in compensation. I will give you 10,000 yuan first, and then give you another 10,000 yuan after joining the team for a period of time. Finally, the 10,000 yuan will be settled after the completion of the contract." Understood. Ding Xiu picked up his pen and brushed his name on the label, then pressed his fingerprint. Putting aside the contract, Zhang Jizhong said, "We still have something to do. Let's leave first. See you on set." Standing up, Ding Xiu grinned and said, Director Zhang, Director Yuan, take your time. Yuan Bing remained unchanged as originally planned, and only after Zhang Jizhong walked away did he pat Ding Xiu on the shoulder and say, the remuneration for the film is not high, but the opportunity is rare. Play well, and when you become popular after the broadcast, there will be plenty of opportunities to make money in the future. Zhang Jizhong has a high reputation and is a big shot in the field of television dramas. In contrast, he offers much lower salaries than his peers as a director. Nevertheless, many second- and third-tier actors are willing to lower their salaries for his performances. Ding Xiu plays the second male lead, but due to his lack of fame, his current salary of 30,000 yuan is his current value. If it's low, it's a bit low, but this is the market trend. In the past 2 years, Huan Zhugu, who became popular throughout the country, was led by Su Yupeng, a member of the Little Tigers team who was once popular in Asia. He earned 48,000 yuan for the film. Xiong Yao's reason is that Su Yupeng has not acted in any dramas for 10 years since his debut, and has no representative works, only worth this price. Su Yupeng is still like this, let alone Ding Xiu. Startled for a second, Ding Xiu wanted to say that 30,000 yuan was not low. During the Tianqi period, the purchasing power of 1 or 2 silver coins was 3 stones of grain, 120 pounds per stone, and 360 pounds per stone. The current grain costs 80 cents per kilogram, and 360 kilograms cost 288 yuan. 1 or 2 silver coins are equivalent to 288 yuan, and 30,000 yuan is equivalent to 104 taels of silver. You should know that junior brother Genie Chuan is a small flag in the Genie Guard, with an official position of 7th grade and an annual salary of 20 taels. A few days ago, he read a newspaper and saw a report stating that teachers and civil servants earn an average monthly salary of 500 yuan. 30,000 yuan is their 5-year salary, indicating that the actor industry is indeed making huge profits. Thank you to the party, thank you to society. Ding Xiu silently recited 2 words in his heart and said to Yuan Bing, Yuan Dao, you must remember to come to me next time there is a play. Seeing his expression, Yuan Bing realized that he was completely enlightened and said, with your excellent martial arts skills, you definitely don't lack food. Let's leave a phone number. I'll find you if there's a suitable scene for you. A few minutes later, Ding Xiu sat alone in the private room eating and drinking, while Yuan Bing left after leaving the phone, leaving him alone. I have ordered all the dishes, I won't eat them for free. He also specifically asked the waiter if he had paid the bill, and the waiter said that Zhang Jizhong had bought it, indicating that old Zhang handled things very well. After tea and rice were full, Ding Xiu asked the waiter to pack. His servant Wang Baoqiang hasn't eaten yet. The poor boy eats mantu every day and soaks in water. He can't stand it. Qin Gang hasn't seen Ding Xiu for half a month and hasn't received any phone calls from him. His mood is so good, let alone. At the entrance of the North Film Studio, as soon as the car door was opened, a group of people gathered around and saw Wang Baoqiang in the crowd. Qin Gang stopped him. Child, where's brother Xiu? Why didn't you see him? My brother was interviewed by the Xiaoao Jianghu drama group as the second male lead. He has been reading the script these days, so he doesn't have the time to come and act in a group. Qin Gang nodded contentedly and said, did you get on the interview? It's great, and even the second male lead is not bad. What are you saying? Smiling in the world, second male. Wang Baoqiang repeated proudly with his head high, his voice amplified a lot. Surrounded by envious gazes. Some people don't believe it. Bully, can the second male lead find a group performance? Is it true or not? Ding Xiu is the second male lead on the Xiaoao Jianghu drama group. I don't know when Xiaoao Jianghu started recruiting actors. Brother, what is Xiaoao Jianghu? Mad, Ding Xiu has issued this order. The second male lead is not allowed to pay a few thousand yuan per day. If I had so much money, I wouldn't have to go to the club every day to tender 3 models at a time. Is it Ding Xiu who chops people? Qin Gang came back to himself and shouted, "Don't be a his mother chatterer, get on the bus quickly. Do you want to go to the theater? Who is that, kid? You come up too. Qin Gu, there's no seat left." Wang Baoqiang leaned over the car door and glanced at the seat, which was full. "Little brother, sit on my lap." Inside, a big sister patted her thigh and said with a smile, alternatively, "I can sit on your lap." Loud laughter spread throughout the carriage, and Wang Baoqiang blushed. Qin Gang pulled him onto the car. "Find a place to squeeze, if it's not possible, sit on someone else's lap, tall, start the train." Half an hour later, Beipuchuo Film and Television City. Qin Gang squatted on the stone steps and called Ding Xiu, wanting to invite him to drink. He doesn't like the fugitive Ding Xiu, which doesn't mean he doesn't like the soon-to-become character, Ding Xiu. The martial arts world is not about fighting and killing, but about human relationships and worldly wisdom. He kept a respectful distance from the fugitives and hugged the big shots. Having multiple friends and multiple paths, whether it's Zhang Jizhong's play or the second male lead, I know with my but that Ding Xiu wants to be popular. "Hello, brother Xiu, I'm Lao Qin. Have you been accepted for the interview in the Laughing Proud Jianghu? I heard from Bao Chang that you are the second male lead. Congratulations, congratulations. Would you like to come out for a drink on such a big occasion? Brother, it's my treat. Do you want to join the group in a few days? I understand. When you come back, I will personally set up a table of welcome wine for you in heaven and earth." End of this chapter.